Here's the thing, as governments try to be the solution to all of your problems in your life, it practically comes down to three things. They're going to be scared of your freedoms, they're going to be scared of you, and in this case, they're going to be scared of 3D printers. Today we're talking about an assembly bill that is currently being debated over in California. And once again, it pertains to messing around with 3D printing technology because the government is afraid of you. Well, there's been a reoccurring theme over the past, year and a half or so. First in New York, then Washington. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Now in California, where they really want to restrict and cripple 3D printers because the reality is you can potentially use them to manufacture firearms. And of course, the government, despite the fact we have something called the Second Amendment in this country, really doesn't like that because, well, they're scared of your freedoms. So this bill right here in California, Assembly Bill number 2047, it's not law yet, it's still got some steps to go through, but it's basically very similar to what we saw Washington State try to do several weeks ago. There are some bureaucratic differences we'll get into in a moment, but at the end of the day, it's going to kind of cripple and put invasive software inside the 3D printing workflow, which is going to interfere with everything, including printing 3D printed gaming miniatures, robot chassis, and other fun things that you normally would like to do with your 3D printer. Now, there's a lot more detail if we dive into the body of this particular bill, but honestly, the main things are going to be right here. At least a good summary is going to be right here in these first two paragraphs, so I'll read through that. This bill would require the Department of Justice or other relevant state agency to engage in an investigation of known firearm blueprint design files and existing firearm blueprint detection algorithms as defined. The bill would require, and then we go through here, there's some basic dates when the government's got to come up with their requirements for this particular firearm blueprint detection algorithm. And then there's another date when it's got to basically have some certification process in place. And then we kind of carry on down here. This bill would require on or before July 1st, 2028, any business that produces or manufactures three-dimensional printers for sale or transfer in California to submit to the department an attestation for each make and model of printer they intend to make available for sale and transfer in California, confirming, among other things, that the manufacturer has equipped that make and model with a certified firearm blueprint detection algorithm. And then there's more dates here about would require on September 1st, 2028, the department to publish a list of all makes and models of three-dimensional printers whose manufacturers have submitted the documentation they mentioned. Then the bill, beginning on March 1st, 2029, would prohibit the sale or transfer of three-dimensional printers that are not equipped with firearm blocking technology and that are not listed on the department's list of manufacturers with a certificate of compliance verification except as specified. This bill would also make it a crime to knowingly disable, deactivate, uninstall, or otherwise circumvent any firearm blocking technology installed in a three-dimensional printer with intent to manufacture firearms or to distribute, sell, or transfer for consideration in California one or more modified versions of blah, blah, blah. The basic summary is government's going to come up with a list of valid firearm detection algorithms that have to be integrated in 3D printers, and then those things need to make certain standards preventing you from 3D printing firearm parts. Now, let's take a look at some of the definitions, because some of them are similar to what we saw in the state of Washington, but there is one that is quite a bit different. Firearm blocking technology means hardware, firmware, or other integrated technological measures capable of ensuring a three-dimensional printer will not proceed to any print job unless the underlying three-dimensional printing file has been evaluated by a firearms blueprints detection algorithm and determined not to be a printing file that would produce a firearm or illegal firearm parts. Firearm blueprint detection algorithm means a software service that evaluates three-dimensional printing files, whether in the form of stereolithography, STL files, or other computer-aided design files or geometric code, to determine if the files can be used to program a three-dimensional printer to produce a firearm or illegal firearm parts, and flag any such files to prevent their use to manufacture a firearm or blah blah blah. Firmware design means the integration of a firearm's blueprint detection algorithm directly into a three-dimensional printer's firmware such that the geometric code received by the printer must be evaluated by the algorithm before the printer will proceed to print, and such that the printer will reject print jobs identified by the algorithm because they would direct the printer to print firearms or illegal firearm parts. This was in Washington State's bill, and I basically demonstrated there that it was incredibly stupid because it's very easy for you to rearrange the printing piece, or however it may be, to get around any very simple firmware check on the printer. However, with Washington State's bill, there is an interesting modification to the definition of 3D printer we'll get to here in a moment, where their bill would essentially nullify a whole set of very specialized CNC machines that don't apply here. So because that doesn't apply, as you'll see in a moment, a firmware requirement for a 3D printer firearm detection algorithm is kind of stupid and useless, but I doubt the government of California actually understands that. So here's the more important one. Integrated pre-print software design means a limitation of a three-dimensional printer's operation to accept geometric code for printing exclusively from a single slicer or other pre-print software, which may be the manufacturer's proprietary software, and integration of a firearm's blueprint detection algorithm into that pre-print software, such that any STL file or other computer-aided design file must be evaluated by the algorithm before the software will proceed to produce geometric code, and such that the software will not produce geometric code for files that are identified by the algorithm because they would direct the printer to print firearms or illegal firearm parts. Now, at first it may seem like there's something missing there, like some sort of workflow check to make sure that you're not using a third-party slicer, but we get to that with this definition right here. Software controls process means a system designed to stop a three-dimensional printer from initiating any print job unless the underlying three-dimensional printing file has been evaluated by a firearm's blueprint detection algorithm and determined not to be printing a file that would produce a firearm or illegal firearm parts. So if you want to have a 3D printer that actually fulfills this process right here, well, it's going to require some sort of secure communication system between the printer and your slicer, some sort of DRM to encrypt the file, something along those lines. Now, the last definition that matters that I mentioned a moment ago is three-dimensional printer, and here it just references another piece of California law. So let's take a look at that bit of law right now, which is section 3273.60. And this section of law actually pertains to firearms manufacturing because 3D printing firearm stuff. But anyway, we find way down here, three-dimensional printer means a computer-aided manufacturing device capable of producing a three-dimensional object from a three-dimensional digital model through an additive manufacturing process that involves the layering of two-dimensional cross-sections formed of a resin or similar material that are fused together to form a three-dimensional object. So that's a pretty good definition of a three-dimensional printer right there. I'm starting to talk like the legislation. 3D printer. No one actually says three-dimensional printer in reality, of course. However, what is not there is a machine that creates objects with a subtractive manufacturing method, basically a CNC lathe, CNC mill, that kind of a thing, which was something that the Washington State bill had, because like I mentioned, when that's combined with a firmware checking process, it eliminates a whole set of specialized CNC machinery equipment that's purely designed to manufacture firearm parts. Now, there are a number of reasons why this is stupid. I kind of went on one of my anti-gun control rants in a previous video, but the basic gist is, yes, trying to reduce gun violence is not a bad thing, but the reality is, as tragically Los Angeles found out about 7 months ago, there are other ways to commit horrible atrocities that don't actually involve firearms, and those things are fairly readily available, and this bill would do nothing of the sort to stop something like that, because it's a very short-sighted way to solve violence in this country. And a different problem is once you've allowed some sort of detection algorithm into a 3D printer workflow, it's not going to stay with firearm components very long, because, well, other companies are going to want to have access to that to block you from 3D printing their products, especially when it comes to tabletop gaming miniatures, because some companies want to lock these things down and not let you 3D print things that look too close to their actual miniatures. Then this system that needs to identify everything that's 3D printed, it's going to go ahead and most likely send your STL file designs off to some third party, which is a problem if you're trying to create something brand new that's never been created before. And you're effectively giving away your own intellectual property to some random company's databases, who knows where, which is a very bad thing when it comes to innovation. Because maybe I don't want to be showing off the latest 3D printable miniatures I'm developing to random companies online before you guys get to see them here on this channel. Which, if you are interested in 3D printing, I do have my own line of 3D printable gaming miniatures. This guy right here is the Sky Guardian for the Coordinator Alliance. It's one of the new miniatures coming out in my next set of Fractured Colony gaming miniatures. A link to the crowdfunding down below. And if you want to get around these kind of air defenses, you're going to want to use this guy right here, which is the Steel Hammer Tactical Stealth Bomber for the Equatorial Compact, which is also in this next set of 3D printable Fractured Colony gaming miniatures. So check out the link in the description for more information on how you can get these miniatures in the not too distant future. All right, back to running my mouth about the government. Now, practically, this kind of law is very difficult to enforce because most 3D printer purchases are made online and are shipped directly to consumers. And the state of California, well, it can't really set up blockades to scan for the 3D printers coming in to make sure they're compliant on whatever list they actually come up with. But that doesn't mean that 3D printing companies won't necessarily comply. It's quite possible that because California is such a large market, 3D printing companies may comply and just put that software on every single one of their printers so they don't have to worry about it. But of course, if those companies do love freedom, they won't do something like that, and they will produce a California compliant version of their product, kind of like some manufacturers that do endorse the Second Amendment do already. As I discussed before in a previous video, Chinese companies, they run some huge chunk of the 3D printable market, and the Chinese Communist Party, of all the things they don't like, freedom is among them. So I'm pretty sure those companies will likely comply, because if the CCP doesn't have an requirement quite like that yet, they're going to want one soon, and therefore they're going to just go ahead and put that software on their printers anyway. The last and final thing that can happen, ideally should happen, if you do live in the state of California, go ahead and call your representatives and tell them that this bill, Assembly Bill number 2047, is really stupid and it should not become law. It's just beginning the process of going through the whole steps of becoming law. And right now, the time I'm recording, all it says for its next steps is from printer, may be heard in committee March 20th. So there's still a chance that this particular bill may go nowhere, kind of like the one in Washington State did. But if you live in California, it's still a good idea to go ahead and call your legislators, telling them how dumb this idea is. With that, it's not another great situation for 3D printers. Hopefully governments will stop being stupid in the not too distant future, but I'm not sure that that is going to be the case. Anyway, my name is Jason. I'm the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield and Fractured Colony, which are all these 3D printable miniatures behind me here. And as I mentioned before, if you like these kind of things, head over to fracturedcolony.com or check out the link below for the crowdfunding project that will be launching soon to get those two guys I showed out earlier in the video, as well as 2 more miniatures that if you watch some of their videos, you have probably seen by now. So thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you next time.